Now, in today's video, we're going to look at the difference between making thousands or making millions with joint ventures. Hey everyone, this is Christopher Brown here again from alphalifestyleacademy.com. Before we get started, there's 150 ways to get more referrals when most companies only know one or two of them. See how I use these methods to do nearly $15,000 from my $100 product in just 6 hours, all from referrals, by downloading your free step-by-step blueprint and audiobook at 90daymillionaire.alphalifestyleacademy.com. Now back to the video. Now, if you've seen any of the last few videos within this video series, if not, I'd suggest that you watch them before you move on. But again, if you've seen any of the last few videos within this video series, you know how much and how fast you can build your enterprise by using joint ventures. Again, many people that we now know today as billionaires got their initial flow of business that got them to the point of becoming billionaires with joint ventures. Now, I'm not going to suggest that by using joint ventures you're going to become a billionaire, but by using joint ventures, it's the fastest way to change your life. Not every joint venture deal is going to change your life, but you're just one joint venture away from changing your life. So what makes the difference between a $1,000 joint venture deal and a $1 million joint venture deal? This is what we call as the scale of influence. Okay, so let's just do a quick review of how joint ventures work. So we're going to reach out to companies, and we're going to reach out to certain individuals, and we're going to come to an agreement where they're going to recommend either their contacts or their customers to us in order to do business with us. And so the difference between making some money to, let's say, making millions of dollars is what we call as the scale of influence. And on the bottom of this scale of influence, we're going to use the example of Cletus from The Simpsons. Now, it's been a number of years since I've regularly watched The Simpsons, and but Cletus is not somebody who has a large center of influence. He's not a very influential person. By the show, we can tell that he's got a wife, got some kids, but again, he's not that influential. So we might be able to get some sales from him, but it's nothing that's going to really be life-changing for us. And sure, we could go after the Cletus of the world and build a $1 million business, but the downside of that, well, let's look at the upside of this first. So the upside of going after the Cletuses of the world is that he's going to be very easy to get in contact with. They're an easy sale, so we're going to be able to get come to an agreement with a lot of Cletuses. And like I said, they might recommend 3-5 people to us, but it's going to take a lot of time for them to do that. And so to make $1 million by going after the Cletuses of the world, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build a large network of joint venture partners. Okay, as we climb up the scale of influence, what we're going to see is we're going to find how one person would replace 1,000 Cletuses. But let's climb up the scale of influence. So the next step, let's move on from Cletus. So the next step is we're going to use this example of a hardworking construction worker. Again, he's got he probably has a family, might have a couple of kids as well. Be a good hardworking, making a good living, and he probably has around 100 contacts, but probably only has about 10 of those that he's in really close contact with, right? And so if you made a arrangement with somebody like this, you might be able to make a few $100s over a series of days. Now, what would be better than going after individuals if you went after a individual company like this? Now, I don't specifically mean construction, but that's just the picture that we use just to kind of represent what we're talking about here. So he's a hardworking individual. He's not white collared. He's not what you call as the professional businesses, and the professional businesses tend to have a bigger network of people. So again, you could still be very, very successful going after somebody like this, make a few $100s within a series of days, but after you look over a year's period of time, you can still see how you would do very, very well, but you would have to build maybe not as big of a joint venture organization as you would have to by going after the Cletuses of the world, but you're still going to have to build something kind of significant. So as we go up the scale of influence, the first time that I did a joint venture arrangement, this is the type of business that I went after. So this is Joel Broughton, and he ran an internet-based company, and he did a lot of nutrition and products like that. And he sent out an email to his customer base telling them about my products. And over the next 6 hours after doing that, that turned into $14,100. And like I said, that was within the first 6 hours. Because of word of mouth advertising, it grew from there. But this is somebody that would be very, very successful for you. Now we're not looking at a few $100s. We're talking about tens of thousands of dollars. And like I said, we did that within 6 hours. Now, as I got more successful with this, I was able to climb up the scale of influence. And the next deal I made is I made a deal with a gentleman by the name of Al Nin. And he was very successful. But what he did is we made an agreement. We came to an agreement together, and then we came to an agreement with his dentist. And his dentist's goal was to add 100 new patients to their practice over the next 12 months. Instead, what we did is we reached out to several beauty salons in the area, provided them with marketing material, doing 3,200 new patients in the first 90 days at an average of about $2,000 per patient, for a total of about $6.5 million over the next 12 months. So just doing a deal like this, you could make $1 million going after somebody like this. Now let's look at somebody going after tens of millions of dollars. Now let's say that you climbed up this scale of influence and you were able to get in contact with somebody like Elon Musk. Now, let's say you can't get in contact with Elon Musk. Well, Elon Musk is more or less of a representation of somebody. Who are the Elon Musks of your industry, of your community? Let's say if you run a business in a small local community, who are the Elon Musks of the world? So, but even if we're not talking about that, there's a strategy that we'll talk about. It's called the Dream 100, and you can work your way up to get in contact with Elon Musk. So, in a case like that, you would only need one contact to do what 10,000 Cletuses would do. Okay, and so as you climb up this scale of influence, those people in the higher in the scale of influence, they're very influential. And so by landing a deal with those type of people, they're going to drive just massive amounts of business to you. Again, if we make a deal with somebody like Cletus, they might recommend a few. So we would have to build a large organization by going after the Cletuses of the world. Going after the Elon Musks, we only need one. And then even with the dentist, it was a joint venture between Al Nin and the dentist and the beauty salons. So there was multiple parties in that, but still we did $6.5 million in a 12-month period. And so even doing something like that, you could build $1 million business. And even with Joel Broughton, $14,000 in 6 hours. As it grew, you could build $1 million business by going after individuals like that. But this is the thing that really makes the difference between making some money to making millions of dollars. Of course, everybody has different goals and what they want to achieve. People love the idea of using somebody else's following to build their customer base, but going from idea to putting this into action is too much to ask for so many smaller companies. So we created a shortcut with this free step-by-step blueprint so you can experience the same results for yourself. Download your free blueprint and audiobook at 90daymillionaire.alphalifestyleacademy.com.